video. You can take the closer seat, Jake.
You're the front man.
Yeah, you're front man. You get it.
I don't want to be the
You got
front.
zero
I don't
Jake
want to be
right
the
now.
front man, Pete. You're the front man.
You're the middleman.
Taylor's also the front man. So Tay, you should be front and center, which you are.
Taylor's in his solo project right now.
Are you smoking inside like a derelict? You
No,
sick?
this apartment's sick, dude. You can smoke in here. It's not so bad.
It's honestly disgusting, dude. How do you breathe in there?
I smoke in here every once in a while in this one room. It's so big, dude. It's like
Smoking here.
Yeah, actually, yeah. We used to like probably have like 10, 15 people in here just chain smoking cigarettes at one point in our life.
yeah, I know. Get the fuck out of here. Talking shit. Fucking acting like I'm crazy.
Be like in here.
Yeah. After that, I smoked. I mean, like
You basically did. Yeah, basically did. Dude, so guys, Pete's Greek, which is cool. That's I think the first time we ever spoke, we made that connection.
Okay, so that was CJ. All right. Before we get into that, I mean, guys, welcome to Sip Talk. Holy shit, do I have a great group of guests today. One of my favorite bands, Besphrenz, hailing from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We got Rob, we got Taylor, we got Jake, we got CJ. Let's start off with, I guess, CJ, who called himself the front man. CJ, first and foremost, how are you?
Pete, I'm great. Just so we can edit that, I think Jake's the front man. But no, I'm just kidding. Dude, I'm good, man. All things considered, I'm excited for 21 and coming off the craziest year of everyone's life, I think. So feeling optimistic and excited to see what this year brings. And how about you, man? What have you been up to?
I'm doing well. Currently in Tucson, Arizona, at the University of Arizona, my last semester. So we're chilling. And but I mean, first, before we get into this, I do want to talk to CJ because the first time I contacted him, the first thing he said to me was just like, "Oh, are you Greek?" And then just started sending me random texts in Greek. And I was very confused because I do not speak Greek, to the disappointment of my extended family. And I was just translating the most insane things. And I don't know what CJ was on or drinking, but he was just like, "Dude, send me some podcasts. I love listening to podcasts." And
I remember that vividly. I was completely sober. I'm just like
he also barely speaks Greek.
Well, that's
Yeah, right.
I've been
No,
studying Greek
6 words.
for like 5 years now, and so any chance I get to try to speak it, I'm like super excited to do it. So when I saw your name, I was like, let me just go for it, man.
You knew by his name.
Yeah, let me just see. Yeah. And then it was really awkward because he did not speak Greek. And I'm out here saying, I think I was saying a lot of Greek stuff translates so weird, especially if you put it into Google Translate.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And so I think like, I don't want to get too explicit, but one of the terms malaka, which is really like my friend, translates to jerk off.
Right.
Or like to jerk off.
Just
or
like
something.
endearing.
Yeah, and so it doesn't look good on Google Translate. I'm sure when he was doing it, he was probably like, "What is this dude saying?"
Well, boys, thanks for coming on the show. I mean, let's just go back to the beginning. How did Besphrenz become Besphrenz? How did it all start, and how'd you guys end up coming together and start creating music?
I guess Tay and CJ, you guys have been friends since you were kids.
Yeah,
like best friends.
Yeah, I think it started with us, right? Tay, and I met in 6th or 7th grade, and didn't start making music until high school. Yeah. At which point, that's when we met Rob, and he was just here in the shed, just learning to play guitar and produce, and we were just probably downloading instrumentals off of the internet and rapping over other people. It's definitely started as a rap thing, like Tay and I like trying to rap over 90s hip-hop instrumentals and be like backpack style rappers or something.
It's a different time. This is a different time.
Yeah, different time for sure. And just trying to come into our own, I guess, and gain some confidence, and that things obviously shifted over the years. Besphrenz, I think, was cool because it was the first time musically we got to do something we felt really kind of like honest about, and it felt like it was like our influences coming together and stuff that we actually listened to and were like starting to show up in the music we were creating. And I don't know, I the first Besphrenz song too, interestingly, was Rob just making a video game beat because Rob's like a big gamer, and likes to make video game music all the time. So the first song, Tired Eyes, you were just in here making video game music, and I think Tay and I were in here not with any intention of writing, just like drinking, and started singing that Tired Eyes chorus or whatever.
Made sense. So
And then boom.
add indie sounding guitar and shit, you know, and then just make it not sound like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
But yeah, that's the gist of Besphrenz, man. Just Tay and I being friends for a long time, and then Rob and Jake also becoming good friends of ours as we kind of progressed on. And it started kind of as a silly thing. I don't think any of us took that name very seriously. We had like zero expectation of anyone ever hearing the music. So I think naming things is weird in general. So when you do it, you're just kind of like, let's just call it that, and maybe like 20 of our friends will hear it, and then things gained a little momentum, and then it felt like kind of weird to turn back on the name. So I was like, yeah, let's just stick with the Besphrenz thing.
it's just I think it's a name that just fell into place rather than we sat down and thought.
Yeah. Which is kind of how the music happened too. I mean, no one was ever like, let's start a band.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very true. Yeah. No.
Well, yeah, it was originally like all of us separately.
Yeah.
And then I guess as things kind of people started listening, then we decided, okay, this is like we have to kind of like define what this is actually. So.
Well, I mean, honestly, that kind of brings me to the big cliche of all music interviews. How would you describe your music? Because you got some indie, a little hip hop sprinkled in there. Like, who wants to take the big cliche on how would you describe your music?
I think we do kind of whatever we want.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't think we ever. I think sometimes we say like, all right, let's try like maybe adding like a little like funk to this next song. Or let's make this next one like with Macish or some shit like that. Sometimes we'll do that, you know.
I do think a lot of times it ends up with us only being able to figure out where the influences were, like looking back. Like it's pretty rare that we sit down and are like, yeah, let's make this song with this intention to sound like this. That doesn't happen that often.
Yeah.
So it's nice. I mean, it lets all those things. That's how like all the indie and the hip hop, and I mean, there's some stuff that have like funk, a little Motown here and there.
Well, like back in the day, we used to be making it like we were making trap music, kind of. So it was like more like Post Malone style, but this is like a few years ago. And then kind of like all together, we came up with the idea to like try to make it more of an indie rock thing, but keep all the same elements that we were doing prior. And then it kind of just morphed into this indie rock band kind of in a way. It's like, but we all just keep our own little influences and keep kind of sprinkling that in whenever we can.
Yeah, I would say one song you definitely kind of hear that is Walking on Ice, because at first you think it's going to be kind of like indie, a little funk, then all of a sudden it's just like rap right in the middle, and then just kind of leads back into that indie, crescendos into that chorus. And like at one point you almost want to kind of do like a little Running Man at like when you get to the back half of that chorus. So I mean, I would say I think that song definitely has some of the most just blends of genre, and that's what I love about your music and that song. How would you say you guys keep your chemistry positive? Because with a band, I feel like a band name like Besphrenz, that's kind of a lot of pressure to remain best friends.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. Well, dude, I think there's a ton of moments where there's disagreements, and we wouldn't be human if not, you know. And
nothing ridiculous.
Yeah, there's never been any huge blowout moments.
Yeah.
I think we're also all like at the point in our lives where it's pretty easy to just vocalize, you know, anything that we're feeling and try to just squash it or just like
well grown up.
Yeah, get through it right away. But yeah, man, I think just being human and having 4 different opinions and egos involved, obviously you clash at times and nothing's perfect, but you know, it does help that we truly have been friends before the band and so it's natural for us to just like understand each other, and we still hang out when we're not making music, you know, so it doesn't always have to be just a music thing where it feels like a job or something. I think that helps a ton.
I think also this might sound a little messed up, but I don't think we like care like and obsess so much about what we're making. We're not like, holy shit, we gotta make things that sound like this. We're just like, all right, we made a thing, cool. Like none of us are like, oh, it's supposed to sound like this. We want to sound like this.
And it's also like there's so much music to be made that like CJ or Rob or me or Tay doesn't get their way on one song about one idea. That's fine. Like we'll just make another song.
Another joint.
Yeah. And like you're always gonna have that push and pull with 4 different people in the same group.
Yeah.
So what we're saying is we all hate Tay. That's why he's
yeah. We sent Tay to Nashville.
Yeah, we sent Tay to Nashville last year, and he's not coming back.
To do Nashville.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding, man. Yeah, I think it's it's been a really fair process. I don't think we even think about it that much. Like they said, just make a bunch of music, man, and everyone gets their moment to shine, and whatever's best for the song at the end of the day. I think taking our own personal ego out of it and just understanding, like, hey, man, like this is what has to happen for this song to be cool.
All right, let's go into a little Beach Haven because I really want to talk about that project. It's definitely a project I've listened to a lot, especially being out in Arizona, because it really does just kind of fit the vibe. What was the process behind creating that project, and what kind of inspired you guys to either create the entire project or kind of certain songs that were a part of it?
Yeah, we just went to the beach. I don't even think we like planned on any of that. We just went to the beach. We were like, let's go make some songs.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember. Yeah, me and Asher drove down, and I was at Asher's house, and we were like talking, and like all these people were trying to get us to invite them to come to the beach house. And so like we were just that was just a thing that had happened. And then we left, and me and Asher kind of always talk about like, we'll like just say something to each other and then be like, oh, that could be a song. And then so we were talking about that, and then it immediately just kind of wrote that chorus of like, everybody wants to invite to the beach house. And then from there, it kind of just turned into like let's make a whole project while we're here, because the vibes were just immaculate vibes, big vibe energy over there.
Yeah, the guy that shot that, who also a big shout out to, his name's Jimmy Jambrone, and he's just like he's a local dude that does photography, videography, and he's kind of like a local legend, man. He's just been shooting like big like rap videos and stuff for 15 years or something. And he's a good buddy of ours, and he had the beach house. And yeah, I think the true intention was to really just get away and go to the beach, but in most cases we always bring a mic and a laptop and some gear, and if something happens, it happens. Yeah,
it was like there was some planning involved though, because like you had Gianna come for the tattoo.
That wasn't well. So yeah, I was supposed to get a tattoo. I had an appointment to get a tattoo that weekend, and my artist is always so booked, and I double booked the beach trip. And so I called her up and I was like, is there any chance you would just come down to the beach and do this? We're like shooting video and we're making songs down here. We did know that, yeah. So I'll say that we knew that we were going to be shooting video because we were with Jimmy, and we knew that we were going to be making music. A lot of people don't know the Beach Haven stuff because that was so early on. So
yeah, it doesn't even feel. Sometimes it doesn't even feel like the same
band.
All the same people involved, and then some. I think that's probably the like defining thing about that is there were so many other hands in it.
Yeah, Matt Andrew and everything.
Yeah, Joanna.
Yeah, so a bunch of our friends were just at the beach with us also. Yeah, on the songs that aren't featured on it, because we all just figured we'd throw it out as best friends, and we were all just like a big group of friends.
Yeah.
And also Taylor brought up like Asher Roth coming down with you guys. So like, when did that relationship start?
That's I think him and I became friends first. I think connected, and that probably started like 5-6 years ago here in Philly. He had just moved back from LA, and I was booking shows. Like our regular jobs was like I was like an event coordinator. Jake does live sound, and Taylor worked at the venue. So I was booking a lot of parties and shows around Philly, and someone gave Asher my number when he moved back to Philly because he wanted to throw a party. And so he ended up reaching out to me, and then we connected, and I didn't even tell him I made music for a while. We were just like hanging out as friends. And then at one point, I forget, music came up, and I had showed him some stuff, and he was like, what the hell? Why haven't you showed me any of this?
My bad, he told me.
Asher, he was asking how we're connected with Ash. And then Yeah, man. Ash also, like, interestingly enough, went to the same high school as us and grew up in this town. So obviously we knew who he was since like high school. You know, he was a couple years above us or whatever. But when he first came out and had success, it was a big thing in our neighborhood where everyone knew who he was, and it was exciting. And so yeah, it was cool to connect with him. And now we're like really good friends. Obviously, Rob produced his whole last album, Flowers on the Weekend, and Jake worked on it, and I was lucky enough to sing some hooks on there as well. And yeah, dude, we kind of just met that way and became good friends, and just still right to this day a ton. So
Yeah.
So a year after Beach Haven, you guys released the Besphrenz EP. It was a combination of newly released songs along with some singles that you kind of previously released throughout that year. What was kind of that year period in between projects like in terms of musical growth or even personal growth?
That was a wild ass year for sure.
What year is that? Is that like 2020?
It was like that was like probably 2 years after though that the EP came out, I think. Right?
Beach Haven came out end of summer 2018, and
2018,
then the EP, he's right, came out 2019, a year later. So
really?
Yeah, I think there was
I lost track.
Sorry, P. I think time gets so confusing with, especially with releasing music, because you feel like you write something and it might not come out for 2 years or something. So a lot of that music we had written, dude. Some of that music was written before Beach Haven came out, which is crazy, you know. And so,
I was about to say because Tired Eyes was on that.
Yeah, Tired Eyes came out way before.
Well, yeah, so there was like a bunch of stuff that we were sitting on, and we had let Tired Eyes go, and we were trying to figure out what made sense for us. And then obviously like things started picking up momentum, and that was a surprise to us. And then,
it was all like accidental. We didn't see any of that coming at all. Like doing the song with Keith kind of kickstarted everything.
Yeah, and after I guess So his question is like
what was that year like?
And I think it was good. It was good. I think it was fun. I think it was really exciting, man. I think that like we picked up management, and we started talking to labels and doing a lot of things that we had never done before. And so there was a lot of learning experiences with like trying to balance the music business with the creation of music, and figure out what made sense for us as a group. And we're still figuring that stuff out now, I think. I don't know if you ever fully get that figured out, honestly. But I think that there's always growth. I think that, we're just going to keep coming in here and writing whatever we feel like writing in the moment, and hope that people like it and
sticking around.
Yeah. But
it is at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'd like to say there was a lot of growth in that year, though. 2018, 2019,
for sure. Yeah.
Just from knowing yourself, and going through those experiences.
Change still. Sometimes it's not even growth. Sometimes it's just change.
Yeah,
but I don't know who knows.
So 2020, year that sucked for everyone, especially for bands, musicians, people like me who miss going to concerts. Did you guys use the time during the pandemic to kind of test your creativity, maybe like experiment musically and just kind of put your head down and work? You guys are laughing, so I don't know if that's a outstanding yes or no.
Rob said hell no, sorry, but
yeah, that's a big no.
I think I'm gonna say hell yeah.
Yeah,
I think we all had a different approach for sure, man. Jake, Jake is writing more than anyone in the world, dude. Like, that dude sends me like 3 songs a day sometimes. Like, no joke. For the last year, Rob's a big hell no. He's just been playing video games and watching anime for sure, I'd say, right? Which is good, man. You need that sometimes. Tay, you've been in Nashville a lot. Well, you were kind of back and forth. Tay, Jake, and I did write a ton. Probably like midway through. I think all of us, the first like 3 months of quarantine, I know I didn't do shit. I bought a PlayStation and like learned how to play video games, and drank a lot of tequila.
Like 30.
Delivered a lot of pizzas. We delivered a lot.
Dude,
of pizzas.
Tay, Jake, and I all picked up gigs delivering pizzas because we
all lost our regular jobs.
Yeah, we all lost our jobs, so we were all working at the same pizza place. Like, putting music out and delivering pizzas, which was like a humbling experience for sure, and a stinky one.
Yeah.
But I'd say altogether, even Rob included. I may say
I learned how to play pedal steel guitar.
Yeah, you put in.
I spent a lot of time playing pedal steel.
Yeah. There was a lot of creativity in 2020. I think I want to say there's a ton of music that came out of it, and a ton of growth still.
Yeah.
Pete, are we allowed to ask you questions, even though you're the
Oh, go for it.
What was your 2020 like?
My 2020 was interesting. I was telling Taylor before you got here, I was abroad when the pandemic started. So I was in New Zealand, and then I pretty much had to come home for my study abroad because I didn't know, like, no one knew anything, and like when I could get back to America. So I pretty much came back home. Lucky enough to have family friends with a beach house in Rhode Island, so I'd spent a lot of time down there. Learned how to play tennis. Played a lot of bumped a lot of Beach Haven. And yeah, just kind of vibed. And then
That sounds pretty perfect.
Well, fall semester went back to here in Arizona, did online classes. I think my studio apartment might be smaller than your shed.
Really?
My apartment is a broom closet. It is tiny. Like, my bed comes out of the wall. So I pretty much spent like a few months in here doing online classes, then kind of dicking around. Went back home for break, and here I am again. So nothing too exciting, except I created this podcast in quarantine. So there's that.
That's
awesome.
cool.
That's really
a big plus.
Almost wish you would have stayed in New Zealand, huh?
Looking back at it, probably should have done that. I probably should have just texted my girl Jacinda Ardern, be like, "Hey, can I get a citizenship? Thanks." And
they're killing it, and I think they like fully have live music, like concerts going on and
Yeah.
stuff. Like crazy.
That's such a like everyone always forgets about that.
What's
that little place in the world?
What's the flight?
It's a long flight, right?
That flight is probably 13, 14 hours. It took me longer to fly in because I tried to save money. And so when I was going there, I flew from Boston to LA, LA to Sydney, and then Sydney to New Zealand to save a couple $100. So that added like a bunch of hours. That was like a 36-hour travel day. And then coming back home, I flew from New Zealand to San Francisco back to Boston. That's still like, you're getting close to like 24 hours. And you're just dead. And I was just taking like 30 milligrams of melatonin and just knocked me the fuck out.
I would have to try to sleep that whole day.
I tried this for
Tons of
the
tequila.
other night.
Melatonin?
Yeah.
Did it work?
I've never taken it.
I mean, like, it's kind of one of those things that like you wouldn't know otherwise. You know,
right? Unless you
didn't take it. You know, maybe it would take me 2 hours after I took it.
I need to take some melatonin. So
melatonin's great.
You're from Boston, born and raised there?
Boston, born and raised out in the suburbs, and then recently my family moved closer to the city, so I've gained a little more appreciation for the city of Boston.
So, are you like real quick, a Patriots fan?
Kinda. I would say NFL and more casual, but I'm definitely a big Celtics fan.
Okay, cool. Because I'm a big Bills fan. I'm from upstate New York originally, so yeah, Bills, Patriots, man.
I'm pulling for the Bills. My mom actually spent a lot of her childhood in Orchard Park, like 15 minutes from the stadium. So we're all rooting for the Bills. But I mean, good thing. I mean, I got some Philly / non-Philly related rapid fire questions, maybe a few Philly sports questions in there.
Dude, I'll try my best. You might know. Jake will probably know Philly sports better than me. But maybe. Give us the rapid fire, man. Give us the rapid fire.
We can jump in some rapid fire. We'll have a new rapid fire question fresh off the dome.
The rapid fire questions just to see how he does.
I don't know shit about it.
I mean, well, first off, I have to ask this because you guys said you delivered pizzas. Pineapple on pizza, yay or nay?
Yeah. Good. I say nay, man. Tay and I say nay. Jake and Rob say yay, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I think it needs to have the red sauce with it. I don't really get the pineapple on white with the ham. The Hawaiian, I think.
I mean, Hawaiian pizza doesn't taste terrible. It's just not my thing at all.
Miss me with that.
Yeah. See, I love pineapple on pizza, and I get a lot of crap for it. I think it's delicious.
Not the vibe.
Very polarizing food.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at anyone who likes it. Just not. Give me some black olives.
Also
Black olives.
Not black olives and pineapple.
Yeah, not the same.
How many Greeks are you hanging out with? Asking for black olives on your pizza.
A ton, dude. A ton.
I like black olives in my stromboli.
That's the same vibe.
It's pretty the same thing, but it's kind of different at the end of the day.
We're messing up this rapid fire.
Yeah. This is not.
Trust me, we've had a slower rapid fire. All right, I got another one for you. Wawa, overrated or properly rated?
I like Wawa was just a little cute little store. I don't like the new big franchise Wawa. Yeah. It lost all of its charms. So you can miss me with Wawa. I'm good on it.
I'm gonna go properly rated for myself. Only I would be lying if I said otherwise because I use Wawa so much.
Right.
Probably 3 to 4 times a week I'm at Wawa getting some food or something, drinks or whatever.
A lot of times where else?
There's like one there's one 2 minutes up the street. So during studio sessions, almost every time if we don't order Domino's, we just go to Wawa and order sandwiches at like 2, 3 in the morning. So it's really cool that at 3 a.m. you could go get like any sandwich you want and then bring it back. Or quesadilla, really good quesadilla.
Properly rated.
Yeah. Properly rated, yeah.
I'll say Wawa's good. Wawa's good.
See, I mean, it's fine. I've been to Wawa before. I like it, but anytime I've met someone from Pennsylvania or like New Jersey outside of their home state, they're just like, have you been to Wawa? It's the greatest thing ever. Like it's the holy grail or hope diamond of convenience stores. And I don't know. I mean, you guys are making an accurate case for Wawa, but a lot of times I feel like I gotta say, like some people's really love to overhype Wawa. But I don't think they realize that like other states have convenience stores that are kind of like that.
I'll say that in terms of convenience stores, I have never been to a better convenience store than Wawa. Like I can genuinely say that. Like Tennessee is just all gas stations, and some places do the Wawa thing with sandwiches. It's just not the vibe at all. Florida doesn't have it. LA doesn't have it. Like LA doesn't have anything like that great. Like in terms of just walking in, getting a fucking sandwich at 3 a.m, any drink you want, cigarettes, anything you couldn't possibly really need. Wawa's just got it going on. I don't know. Wawa's so like it's like a little mini Walmart, Like a little mini Walmart with good sandwiches.
The sandwiches have fallen off at Wawa over the last decade.
That all depends on the sandwich.
The Wawa. Yeah, like when I lived in Yardley, the woman who would make my sandwiches there made some fire sandwich. And I would always tell her, I'd always compliment her. Be like, just let you know you make the best Wawa sandwiches I've ever had.
No tip though.
Pete, you're in this shed with us, right? It's a Thursday night. We're all like 9 beers deep, you included.
Nine.
It's like 2:37 a.m. and Taylor goes, "Yo, I'm running to Wawa. Anyone want to come?" You and I hop in the car, right? We go to Wawa 2 minutes up the road. Tay hasn't been drinking though. That's why he drank. What are you ordering from Wawa with us on this late night trip?
Honestly, I don't think I'm getting a sandwich from Wawa. I mean, honestly, I've been to Wawa enough times to pick something right off the menu. I probably might just go to Taylor and say, hey, like whatever you're getting, I'm getting, because it seems like he knows what he's doing. But honestly, my go-to like for snacks are like mint Milano, like the Pepperidge Farm cookies. So we'll get some mint Milanos and then some Nesquik, or if they got a nice little freezer, some Ben and Jerry's action, and I'll do a little mint Oreo Ben and Jerry's with some Nesquik, because you get the nice cool sensation of ice cream, but then if your mouth still feels dry, then you get the Nesquik and it's just delicious.
You got a sweet tooth.
You're about the sweets.
Yeah.
And would you say that's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Ben and Jerry's mint Oreo for favorite flavor of ice cream. That's got to be up there. There's some like smaller, like kind of like New England brands that have had like, there's something called like Paul Revere's Rocky Ride, which is, I think it was a brand called like Bringham's or something. That was delicious.
I think I've seen that one on Pornhub. Right, they got
They just got to put like historic information in it. Just like
Paul
tweets and
Revere's
stats.
Rocky Ride.
Right.
That's dope, dude. I'm lactose intolerant, so until recently I hadn't eaten ice cream at all. But Ben and Jerry has come out with the vegan ice cream, which first couple months of pandemic, I was eating so much of it, dude. I put on 15 so quick, just like eating ice cream every night. I was like, oh my god.
Let's keep this very slow rapid fire going. This is a sports question for Jake, but anyone else can chime in. Next starting quarterback for the Eagles: Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts, or other?
I mean, I don't know. After the last couple of days, they got to get rid of him.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know.
They're gonna let Carson Wentz keep playing. They're gonna let Carson Wentz keep playing.
What they need to do though is get Watson in here, dude. Do the crazy trade with Texans. Get Watson, I think, but that's not gonna happen. They were talking about it. Carson's gonna stay, man. They got rid of Doug. They're gonna keep Carson.
They just gotta fix the team. It's not Carson's fault. It's not Carson's fault. Like the O-line stuff.
Carson's got attitude, man. Well, allegedly. So
What was the thing about the giant poster of him or something, like a life-size portrait in the
I didn't hear this.
GM's office or something? Did you hear about that?
Oh wait, yeah, Howie Roseman.
Yeah.
I'm
not a big Eagles fan, so this is kind of off the board for me. But
I would like to see him start Hurts, man. Start fresh. I think Carson's got an attitude problem. Keep it moving, man. I liked the dude a lot until all these reports started coming out, and then seeing Doug leave and all these things, it seems kind of apparent that could be the truth. So man, I don't know, some young blood, man. Get Jalen in there and build around him. The offensive line is pretty awful, so need to fix that, and I don't know, bring in some new guys for sure. But
I say they're definitely gonna keep Carson Wentz.
They're gonna keep Carson. He's got the bag, man. He's got all that money.
All right, Jake, I have a Sixers question. Do you trust the process?
hell yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the results have been there.
Yeah.
You know?
I just wish Ben would shoot, man.
Jake, does it still hurt seeing Jason Tatum on the Celtics, knowing that we had that pick and we kind of tricked you guys, and then you guys got Markelle Fultz and we have Jason Tatum? Oh,
yeah, it does. Man, honestly, I've had such a hard time. I was following so much more up until like all the pandemic shortened seasons. Like none of it feels real to me, so I haven't been that engaged this year, which is weird. Yeah. It's just like this whole big part of my life that I haven't like been engaged with. Like I'm like a huge hockey fan, and it's been back for a week. I haven't watched a single game. It just doesn't feel real. I'm like,
I get it. Yeah.
That was me with college football. I used to love college football, and then it's like they're not gonna play this, right? Like these are unpaid kids in a global pandemic, and they kept playing. Yeah, empty stadiums. No, we're gonna have 20% capacity, but we're all gonna put in the lower bowl. So like Texas A&M is just packed house, and I'm just like, okay, this is dirty. I don't like this. I feel icky watching like people my age get brain damage for no compensation in a global pandemic. So I started watching more soccer than usual, and it's been fun.
Interesting.
Soccer's cool,
man. I fuck with soccer.
Yeah, soccer's cool.
I think soccer's a cool sport, especially to watch.
I can't tell you anything about soccer.
Well, Taylor, Nashville's got an MLS team, Nashville SC. This is now the perfect time to jump right in.
On the bandwagon?
Yeah, hop on. They made the playoffs last year.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't really care at all about American soccer at all. Like, I don't care about soccer at all. Yeah, but, like, I care even less about American soccer. And I don't care at all. So.
Yeah. Well, I tried.
Appreciate you.
All right. Oh, perfect. All right. I got another Philly question for you. We're gonna throw this back all the way to the 1770s. Who would win in a doubles tennis match at the First Continental Congress? The Massachusetts Bay team of John Adams and Sam Adams, or the Pennsylvania team of Thomas Mifflin and Joseph Galloway?
Does anybody have an answer for this? Because I don't.
Neither do I. That's why I asked it.
Galloway?
I got nothing.
How do you not bet on the? I mean, just for the name.
Yeah, I'll say John Adams just because he's the only person I recognize his name.
Sam Adams because the beer, man.
Or Sam Adams, or whatever.
Yeah, dude, give it up to Boston, man. The two Adams. Honestly, I don't know much about the other dudes. I feel pretty ignorant for that.
Well. If it makes you feel any better, that's a good call because Joseph Galloway was a Pennsylvania representative in the First Continental Congress. Then he turned out to be a goddamn loyalist to the British Empire. Ended up going back to London where he belongs because he's a traitor.
Dude, you should have picked Ben Frank, dude.
Yeah.
Because Ben Frank, I maybe take over.
He's not really built.
Is Ben Franklin built for tennis? I mean, I feel like he could have like a monster serve, but I don't know if he has to try to get a backhand going. I don't know. He could probably be able to read the wind well potentially, but
yeah. That's a good call. That's a good call. All right, cool.
All right,
Adams squad. Yeah.
Here's another one. What was the last physical CD that you bought?
Wow.
I think I can remember, like, I bought a bunch of like old school hip hop CDs, like probably 15 years ago. I'm trying to think back then, but I think I bought that Jay-Z album, with with that song New York on it. What was that called?
I think that was Blueprint 3, right?
Yeah, Blueprint 3. I'd say that might be one of the last like new albums that I bought.
That's a good album. I think Run This Town was on that album too.
I feel like the last time I bought a CD was probably not for myself. Like I feel like I bought one as a gift or something, maybe.
Yeah,
I feel like I bought my sister like a Taylor Swift album years ago or something. I don't know.
When I was working at the venue, whenever bands would come through and actually have CDs, I would a lot of times buy their CDs just to support like the touring acts. Unfortunately, I couldn't tell you who. Before that, dude, I want to say like it was cheesy. I think I bought like Chiodos.
What, really? You were a high schooler?
Yeah, for sure. I've definitely bought like
those CDs.
I've definitely purchased vinyl in the last like 2 weeks. I know Rob and you guys probably have as well. Like tons of vinyl. CDs, yeah, it's been a while. It's had to have been over 10 years for me since I purchased.
All right, guys, before I let you out of here, one last question. It's 2021. What do the Besphrenz have in store?
A lot of music. New song in next week?
Yeah, next Thursday is the first single re-release of the year called Ordinary on the 29th. And then, after that, just kind of planning on a lot more output this year than 2020. You know, I think we put out 2 songs last year, so trying to do a lot more than that, and hopefully by the end of the year get back to playing live, pending how vaccine goes and such. But man, would love to just put out a ton of music and maybe even put some of that music together into a project if it makes sense. But we're sitting on a lot, so let that go and maybe also just get some visual stuff done as well.
I mean,
Rob has a new website, robdevious.com.
Really
It's cool. He's down playing. Jake has a solo project called 8 Hours. If you want to speak on that, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm putting a bunch of music out this year with that. Some of it's songs that these guys have helped write and pitched in, and a lot of it's just getting out stuff that didn't quite fit with Besphrenz. So that's fun. Yeah, I'll be doing that.
Yeah, you can catch me on stream playing Warzone and Among Us.
Join our Discord.
Yeah.
We don't really have one.
We don't have it.
All right, let's go. Let's end it there, dude.
CJ. I mean, my friends and I, we do some Among Us Zooms like almost every weekend. So if you ever want in,
dude, I'll pass you my my number. We'll connect on Discord because I'm on Among Us like every other day. So.
Oh, CJ, we're about to play so much Among Us now. Oh,
you don't want me to be the imposter, bro.
Is that a threat?
I'll see you in electrical. All right, Pete, dude, thanks so much for having us on.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, man.
Big fan of podcasts. Excited to be on yours. I hope that you do a ton of awesome stuff with this year. And good luck in your last year of college as well. That's exciting.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.